Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing great today. Today we are going to do one or two things. I think this is why I did not want to start the habit of doing the books because now all I have is books on the mind. But we're going to try to do something different. If not, I do want to make a book, just so you know. All right, so I was going through some ephemera that I have in the tub, in a tub, not the tub. And I came across this Bo Bunny, these little cards. I'm sure I've used it before. It looks like I've opened it and closed it a few times. And I am in the butterfly season right now. It's summer. It's spring, summer, yeah. And I thought it would be really fun to attempt a tag flip booklet with butterflies. So, what better way to already use the stuff that you have on hand and try it out, right? So I think 5 pages would be fine, and I'm going to use some paper, not paper. Yeah, paper from the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna use these big cards. These measure out. I'm sure it tells us on the thing. 4, 3.5 by 5 3/4. So that's something to keep in mind when we go cut paper. Yeah, fly the best seat. Fly by the seat of your pants. I don't know if I like that statement. Because flying by the seat of your pants, I personally think that that's not good. I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, let me know how you feel about flying by the seat of your pants. I feel like when you tell somebody flying by the seat of your pants, it's like saying we're building a plane while in the air. You can't even take off without the plane being built. But then my question is always, why would we say that, right? So this is shiny and these are dull. I think people complained because it does say card crafting paper pack, and people wrote and said this is not craft paper, it's cardstock. And I'm like, I like thicker paper, so I wasn't upset about it at all. I'm gonna use that page, and I don't know if the people that were complaining sounded like that, but I feel like that's the complaints department's voice when you get it. It's like, Charlie Brown, womp 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 womp, but more than nasally, naggy voice. These are so 60s and 70s, right? I feel like this is all the little back in the day mod those dresses that they wore. That's what these clothes are. Somebody was like, "Ooh, let's just take those patterns and go crazy," and they did, and I support it. I like it. I'm gonna be smart, and I'm gonna just score this really quickly versus drawing a little line on it, trying to cut it. Then the line is off. Now I can barely see this little score, but that's okay. I realized that this thing has bumps. You can't see it because I didn't peel the plastic off. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. We don't need to plow. We don't need to peel the plastic, do we? I might need a dot because I can't see. I got my glasses yesterday. I have to call the eye people because I know it takes a little bit to adjust, but I can't see anything. Like, mm, no. And normally when I get glasses, it doesn't take that long. Like it's instant. It's an instant. Ooh, I can see now. Those glasses were like, no, I can't see. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And you know what's so bad about this that I'm about to say? I don't like that I have to wear glasses. I really don't like that I have to wear glasses. But I really also don't like that I have to wear glasses. Did I say that already? I did. So I'm anti glasses, right? Not because is anything wrong with wearing glasses. I just don't want to wear the glasses. And so because I'm so anti glasses, I am going to struggle even more with the glasses. All right, so we got these things here. Um, we got this here. I want to use this side up, okay? And then we have to make a decision, okay? All right, I think this is going to be page one, then two, then the glitter one. Yeah, just like that. Let's go ahead and round these corners. My corner rounder, the one that I used the other day, it's not a corner rounder. I should say it's a semi edger, and I didn't really care for that one. So I should have put the two out around first, but I didn't. I just chose not to. I don't feel like I needed to do it like that. So yeah. All right. There we go. Now what I am gonna do is go ahead and pick the spot for our hole and work around the hole. So this, I think they have these at the Dollar Tree still. You know, Dollar Tree has some stuff and then they don't. For a dollar and a quarter, or you could probably go to the thrift store and see a bag of them for like $4 or $5 and have 30. It's totally up to you. Okay. I got a message from Michaels saying if you need fabric, we got you. I can't see Michaels, the current state that Michaels is in. And by state, I mean how they have it laid out to have fabric in there. Like, is it only going to be online where people can cut it? And then if, some places you have to have a 2 yard minimum or a minimum, a 1 yard minimum to uh, cut. So it's going to be very interesting how they do that. Now I'm going to turn these over even though it's a flip over like that. See, the reason why I want to do this is because you can write your name and stuff on there. You can do all kinds of stuff. I think we're going to start off with the stickers first. I think that'll be a lot easier for us. You know what I did not bring over here? Stickers. Ask me why. I don't know. I don't know. Where are the stickers? I sure did not. I have two things of stickers. Okay. This one and this one. And my goal is to not open up a bunch of stickers and use multiple and not use the other one. So if you notice, well, you probably haven't been able to notice because I haven't did a lot. But my goal has been to try to use up some of the stuff that I have without buying more and more and more. And it's not really working like that. And the stickers I need are sentiment stickers, I think. We're gonna go from here first, and then we have these. This came out of a Michael's Hot Buy. So this weekend, my son and my friend, we went to a mega craft event. It was horrible. It was a horrible experience. Why was it a horrible experience? Let's talk about it. So I was in great company because my son is always my plus one, and my friend is always fun to hang around with. We end up having more memories of the event, any adventure we do, except for the Easter one. I got the flu, and I don't remember anything like remarkable happening there. But normally, um, we'll have some kind of silly tale to tell. Like as an example, we had went to the Goodwill by our house, and someone had to have nature call for them, and like they when I say nature call, they had to, you know, they had gas, and it was horrible. And of course, me being the silly person that I am, I accused her of. I was like, "Did you do that? Oh my gosh, that's so disgusting!" Blah 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 blah. Like if we go somewhere, you and I, like me and the person watching this, and we hanging out, and we're good friends, be prepared. Be prepared for the nonsense, right? Um, but in general, we tend to have a decent time, right? So that wasn't the issue. I was excited because I didn't know that it was pay. Okay, number one, the issue was pay what you think, right? I'm cheap. I'm paying everything I want is a quarter, right? I want everything to be a quarter, a dollar or less, basically. It's unrealistic, but hey, I had just went to their store, the storefront that they have the day before, and I got some stamps for a quarter and 50 cents. So I was excited. Now what I need to do is pay it forward and take some of them stamps back. Not the ones I bought, but some stamps that I have that I don't use that I had picked up from eBay before I even started crafting for real, and donate those. But anyway, so we go and it's a long line. When we pull up, there's no parking in the area where they have it, and so we park across the street. Well, I told them, I said, go ahead and get out, and I'll go park the car, and I'll catch up with y'all. And by that time, I had to use the restroom. And lately, if I don't use the restroom right away, I'm in trouble. I just said like that. I have to use like I don't ever have the urge to use the restroom. Like I just drink some water, and I don't need to go to the restroom right now. But if I sit here and sit here and sit here, I'm gonna have to use the restroom. And so when I got out the car, I was like, I need to use the restroom. So I was glad the line was moving pretty fast because I had the urge to use it. So I knew what was going to be next is me saying we got to go home because I didn't had an accident if I didn't get a chance to use the restroom within the next couple of minutes, right? So I go and use the restroom, and they're walking. My friend was like, "Do you want me to grab your bag?" Because I was like, I forgot the bags at home because it's a not a resale shop. It's a reuse center. So I am aware that they it's used stuff that someone's turned in and they recycle. They try to keep stuff out the landfill as best as possible. So I'm always on the lookout for this one particular stamp. Right, it's Grover, Super Grover. It's a Sesame Street character, and they used to be sold at Hobby Lobby. I'm under the impression that it was a limited edition type thing, but I didn't get into stamping and crafting into 2016, I guess, is when my son was born, and I started, crafting and doing craft stuff. So, anyway, so they go in, and I go use the restroom, and when I come out, so they had the organization of the shop in the area was great. The amount of people was not. It was so overwhelming. It was so overwhelming. It was so overwhelming. I don't do well with large crowds. I have a phobia of large crowds. And so I already am struggling, right, at this point to deal with these large crowds. I used to do it back in the day when my mom was alive. We would go to Black Friday, like we go into Black Friday. And I think that situation with us going into Black Friday was fine. But then people started doing crazy stuff in large crowds, and it started to creep up then. I'll just leave it at that. No need to make this story even more crazier than it is already. So anyway, They go in, and I had already told her the day before. I said I'm looking for stamps, snowmen. I gave her my shopping itinerary because she's not a crafter like I am. She makes crafts with her kids, her daughters, and she does different types of crafting like that. But I'm cutting up this paper, making a flip book for no reason, to eventually give it to somebody when I get out of my issues of going to the post office. Um, and that's a whole nother story. I think it's all stemmed together, but we don't need to go into that detail about why and how I feel about it. Also, I pulled out some of my Can Company. I really like Can Company, and I think that I rarely use it because I'm gonna try to go look for this piece right here because I can't find Can Company as good as I did when I got these things. You get 10 of these for $1.19 when Tuesday morning was, going on. It's a little bit too big, and so I think what we're gonna do is try our best to put it on here. It's okay that your tag has stuff that hangs off. I mean, you want it to kind of be uh, chunky, but not too much. So we want to. This is what we're gonna do. All right. This is some thick plastic. I feel like it tried to break the daggone hole punch. So anyway, so we get there, and the way they have it set up, the tables are kind of like it's a little maze, like normal things are, and for the most part. And I'm gonna try to round this corners out some more. Um, I walk around and I look for them, and at this point, everybody looks the same, right? Um, I'm looking for my son because he has more distinct features than my friend, and she had on like a gray top. I was like, we should have coordinated loud shirts so we could know where we were. But I mean, it wasn't that serious at that moment, right? It wasn't that serious. But she had found the stamp, so I called. I was like, "Hey, where are y'all?" She was like, "We were by the stamps." I said, "That's where I'm by." And I guess my son had said my mom wouldn't be over here or something. But I had already told her what I was looking for, so she knew where I was actually going to want to go. Because I really went there for stamps, 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 and more stamps. I like stamps, right? I'll do a haul. I'm going to do a haul video probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, yeah. Today's Tuesday. If y'all didn't know, I'm making these videos in real time, it seems like. So we're going to seal this piece and this piece, okay? So one, two, so the person can slide a picture in if they want. My little plant is still here. My little flower, I should say. And we're going to use Aleene's. And it dries clear, so it's not a huge deal. So anyway, she comes over and she shows up and she has already gotten something. I think she had already found something. And I was like, okay, well, this is what I'm looking for, which she already knew. And so these ladies had it was some overflow, and they were behind us. And when I tell you this is where the experience was horrible comes into play. People are rude. People are rude in general. If you did not know that, you may not be living you may be living in a rural area, population of one. Um, and I think for me the problem with the event was that it was free. What do I mean by it was free? If I all the stuff that you can see visually on my desk, this was in real life $5. These cost a crazy amount of money. So let's just say this, and this paper all and this ink in general would be a $10 purchase, right? You could have got all this stuff and walked out with just paying $1. And that's essentially what the problem was. I feel like because it was so inexpensively inexpensive, people chose, to show up. It was at least easily 300 people there, and that was too many in my opinion. 300 people is too many people at one time in one little small area, and will I go next year? I can't see myself going next year. Will I continue to go to the craft store? Yeah, because it's a reuse center, and I'm so glad that we have one there because I found well, my friend, I told her, I said I'm looking for a stamp with little mice on them, and she was her daughter's into cats, right? So she showed me a bunch of cat. I was like, I'm not gonna be getting all these cat stamps because I'm not a cat stamper. I do like cats because we have Nicholas or whatever, but in general, I am not a stamp a cat stamper. But I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool because a lot of them were Christmas, and I had told her snowman, mice, Christmas, cutesy, and I found a few Halloween stamps that were really really pretty. I was like, ooh, those are nice. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one right here. So she was like these, and she pulled up one. I was like, yes, just like those. So she found like five, six, a great amount considering I had no hopes of finding any at all. And she found, some, and I was like, "Ooh, that's really good." And when you go to these things, you need an adult. If you do events like this, you need to go with an adult, not a bunch of kids, unless they understand the assignment. Because my son didn't understand the assignment. He wanted to go do arts and crafts. I was like, "Son, we will do that when it's time to go, not before." And not after, not during because it was so many people there. The line was long to check out, so you just show up and they just take you and it's um, cash or credit, right? And so it was an experience. Would I wish that experience on anyone that likes to do those kind of things? If you're up for the stress, because it wasn't so much the people, it was their behavior. Like my friend was like, I got elbowed so many times, I'm surprised I didn't have any bruises. And that's where my concern comes in, right? And it was other little kids there. My son wasn't the only child there, it was other little kids there. But the adults were acting so like, mm-mm, I don't want to do this. And I get overwhelmed. My son didn't seem to be phased too much by it, but I'm using Rusty Hinge. I get overwhelmed so easy with large crowds that I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm doing this again, and I don't know how I done brought my baby into this situation. Like I didn't know it was gonna be that bad, and I told my friend, I said, I'm sorry, I did not know it was gonna be like this. Because if I had known it was gonna be chaotic, I would have said, hey, uh, get some shoulder pads or elbow pads, some knee pads, and then because I had stood there a lot and was bending and stuff, I could barely walk once we left, we went to get some food. I could barely walk because my body is starting to stiffen up for whatever reason when I stand for a long time. So I've been trying to just stretch, do more stretching than I normally would. I should have never stopped because you know what they say about a body. A body in motion stays in motion. Once you stop doing stuff, that's when it's a problem. Um, so yeah, but nonetheless, I had a great time with my son and my friend. I did not enjoy the experience of the other people at the place. It was so many people there, so many people, so much nonsense. And I've been to bin stores before, like the Goodwill bins, and I've seen people rush out to grab the stuff. And I'm much more of a casual, let me check and look. But I felt like if I was that gonna be that person that day, we probably wouldn't have got anything. All right, so this is turnover. This is this way. So let's go ahead and put. We need something right here though. think I could do this. Let me cut it down just a little bit. So yeah, that was my experience. I know some people probably go to those things and like it was such a blast. I had an amazing time, and I understand how they could have an amazing time. I'm just not good with crowds, and so yeah. And my friend is a bit on the crazy side, right? So she was like, "I'm gonna start elbowing people back." I mean, she wouldn't have been out of line if she had did it, but I was just like, it's not just because I don't want to be blamed for the rowdiness, right? Um, but for the most part, overall, it was a great experience for me to have had it with her and my son. And I'm like, I don't know. And even somebody else was like, I did not know it was going to be like this. I'm just going to have to keep going to the store. Because I was like, how did you like it? And she was like, she really didn't care for it too much. I was like, I can't blame you because it was not exactly what I thought it was going to be. I know I talked about opening butterfly, more stickers, but I think we're going to use these stickers. These came from the Walmart, and I want to say they were 96 cents. These are American Crafts, so I'm under the impression that American Crafts is trying to get their stuff in anywhere they can, honey. Let's do this green one, and then we're going to do this purple. This is pink, but apparently I don't know my colors. And then we're going to take some of these little flowers and just decorate them down the side. No rhyme or reason. No rhyme or reason. I'm gonna do five because people always say odd numbers. But five and three is eight, so I don't know how odd I got just now. All right. Now on this side, I want to cover this whole thing up like that. There we go. So yeah, that was my Sunday experience. Now, would I go to another crafting event like that? Yes. More organized in a bigger facility, less people. Yeah, because they're fun and you can get really good deals on things. And my goal is never to have 1,000 copies of certain things. My goal is in my head. This is just purely my own weirdness, right? I started crafting later than I haven't been doing this for that long. Next year it'll only be 10 years. Wow. But I've been a craft collector way longer. I've always been into trinket collecting and things like that. I might actually be like a little fairy gnome person in real life. Cause you know what? What are those little the littles? Is it the littles where they go around and collect random things? It should be a cartoon. I think it's the littles. They're little mice people. Okay. All right. Now these are made from Craft Right. It says PS Studio, but Craft Right. This is in Utah, and the other one is in Utah. So I guess they have big craft warehouses. Not the same address though, 588, and this one says 34. So maybe they're near each other. Let's go with this. You can't see a thing. Let's go with this color. These stickers are thick, okay? They are not small. They did not come here to play. They came here to show you how beautiful they are, all right? So let's go ahead and pull this up. So anyway, yeah, I hope that if you all ever we're going to use slow down and enjoy the moment. I can get it up. I know some of us are not into those kind of things. So yeah, and I definitely understand why. I see why. Well, some people are like, yeah, this is my vibe. I vibe out with this kind of stuff. I love it. This is my thing. I am not that person. I am not that person. I am much more of a, oh my goodness, this place is too packed for me. I need to go. What if I did that? I feel like it wants to go down here because it looks more like a bottom piece than a top piece. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this on here. All right. Then this page. These are always very in my opinion simple to do because it doesn't take a bunch. If it's like a little tag, I always consider these little flips and tag flips and all those other things to be memory conservers. Because some people like these kind of things to be a show. Hey, look, this is when we went to the botanical garden, for example, and we saw the butterfly. And maybe you have a good picture of a butterfly landing on your head or the person that you went with on their head, something like that. And you're like, oh, I remember that. It was so much fun, blah, 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 blah. And then over here is an actual picture slide where you slide the picture in. Uh oh. Did I not glue that side down? Ma'am, you did. I may actually need some adhesive. We'll see. Sometimes the sticky stuff don't stick like it's supposed to, and we can work around it. No need to be fretful. No need to fret, darlings. I'm gonna go in here really quickly. Ooh, this gold is so nice. Don't be afraid to flourish. Let's put that on there. I think it's very contrasting. Does not match at all. It just has a great sentiment. Don't be afraid to flourish. All right. All right, as we flip through this, we're going to see what we need. I wanted to put this another sticker on here. I pulled out some this washi tape. Now the washi tape may not fit on every page, and that's okay. All right, so and I need a sentiment. Let's see. It says everyone grows at their own pace. I love that. Take these some little flourish pieces. I want to put cultivate gratitude right here. I'm gonna find another little thin one. I don't want to put embrace imperfection though. Although we should never be too caught up on always having to have perfection. Yeah, but we are in our own way. We are always caught up in that realm of this is how it needs to be done. Okay, it's another one that says rise with the sun. So then we have this. Yeah. Then we have this. This is just all over the place in my opinion. Then we have this look for the beauty. Then we have this, and I think we could put rise with the sun right there. Yeah. Then when we turn it over, we have this blank. I want this to be a picture album, as you probably can tell. This is not gonna work. This is the only one that's off, y'all. Cause all the other ones actually. Hmm. All right, let's see. Cause we have to turn this over, and this one gets turned over. Did I do it wrong? I don't think I did it wrong. Oh no, I did do it wrong. So this should. No, because I wasn't. No, I didn't do it wrong. I did it wrong and I didn't do it wrong. It's my fault. Ultimately, it's my fault. I'm the maker of this, but yeah, I'll show y'all what I did. Because if you do like this, you can see everything right. No problem. And that's how this one would be if we were doing that, right? But we're not. We're essentially saying flip it over and look at it. That's where the problem comes in. It. I'm gonna take a few of these little um, gold strips. Not all of them, because they won't all fit for what I want. Okay, I'll do one right here as well. Yep. Let's take this apart. All right, there we go. Sometimes you have to take things apart to put them together, right? All right, so we got that one. I just dropped something on the floor. Great. So that's the back. This is the front. And if I did it like this, even though it's not a book, this is the left-handed book, right? This is how I open up most of the books from the back to front. Then we got this. If we're putting pictures, oh, if we're putting pictures all over these, they're gonna get covered up anyway. That's why I'm not filling it in too much. But I wanted y'all to see the creation that we created. So that is that. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I want to say thank you all for watching. I'll see you very soon. Until next time, happy crafting.